Hey guys, Cami here. In today's video, I'm making chicken stock. And let me tell you, I'm filming this intro after I've started the chicken stock, and it smells like Thanksgiving in the house. It smells absolutely delicious. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing how I make my chicken stock to get it ready so that I can then pressure can it, which will be in another video, come on with me and let's go to the kitchen and see how I do it. Several carcasses in the freezer. I had one that was from the other night in the refrigerator, and I've got some celery that's seen its better days that just needs to get used, and I have some onions. And then what I'm going to do is put all of this along with my some water in my turkey roaster, but you can use another big pot or whatever you want. But let me show you how I do it. So I've got all of my celery cut up, and it doesn't have to be diced or small, and you want to make sure you use your leaves. Now I've gotten rid of any like really bad places. Like I said, this was celery that had seen its better days. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a trash, well, not a trash bag, but you know, just a bag you get from the store to put all of my my garbage in. And then after that, you can either put it all in the trash, or you can use it in your compost, whatever you want to do. Now, I'm not going to dice my onions up because it's not going to really matter. And I really didn't have to dice my celery up much either, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't have, dropped one. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any like bad places up in there. Some people will put like the peelings from their onion in there. I'm not going to do that today, but you can. And I've got 3 of these onions that I'm going to put in here. Now, you don't have to use a particular kind of onion. That's just up to you. I happen to have the yellow onion. That's typically what I use when I'm cooking, so that's what I've got. But if you've got white onion, you know, the red onion, whatever you've got, that's fine. You can use it. And there's not really any rhyme or reason to how many you want to use. You just kind of wing it how you and your family like it. I'm going to use 3 because I think that onion is one of those things that's an aromatic in cooking, and I think that it just really adds so much flavor. But you don't have to be particular. You can just kind of, you know, cut it in half. Some people will even put them in there whole. It's just what you want to do, how you prefer. Okay? So, I've got these done. Now, I'm going to get all my chicken and my the rest of my stuff over to my roaster, and then I'll be back and I'll show you how I'm going to put it all together. So I have my roaster, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on about between 250 and 300. And I'm going to go ahead and get my chicken in first. Now, this is a chicken that we had the other night. It's got a little bit of rice in it, but that's okay. That's going to all be drained out anyway. And then I have some more. If you save your chicken carcasses, you know, just after you've used your chicken, save it. And that one's got some, I put some fresh herbs in the cavity of that one. see. I had fresh, what all did I have? I had fresh rosemary and basil and sage. And then here's another one. So I'm going to have some really good stock as far as my meat goes. And then all I'm going to simply do on top of that is take my vegetables or aromatics and just throw them in there too. You know, all of this is going to start cooking down. And then I want to go ahead and I want to start filling it up with water. Now, I've got it right here by the sink so that I can just use my sprayer. If you're not going to have it near your sink, obviously you could just get something like a gallon pitcher and you could use it to add your water. I'm going to pretty much fill this up. If you don't have a turkey roaster, then you could use like a big stock pot. Now, I'm going to have this cooking for at least 24 hours. So, if you use something, even if you're using a turkey roaster, when you go to sleep at night, before you go to sleep, you go to bed, you want to make sure that you turn it down on low. Or if you don't feel comfortable with it on, then you want to at least, if you do turn it off, you want to make sure that you don't open the lid, and that as soon as you get up the next morning, preferably really early, that you go ahead and turn it back on and remember that time as far as how long you've actually been cooking it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish loading up my water with this, and then I'll be back. And just to note, like I said, I'm just using my regular tap water. We have good water. If you have water that's not that great and you normally use filtered water or whatever, that's your decision, your prerogative. But where I'm at, tap water will work fine for this. Okay, now that we've got all of that water in there, we're going to start adding some of our seasonings. Now, I'm going to add some bay leaves. My bay leaves are kind of locked down at the bottom of my little bottle here, so, and I've got a lot of broth going on, so I'm going to add about 4 or 5. I don't know what that ended up being. And then next, even though I've got onions in here, I'm still going to add some onion powder. Fresh onions and onion powder kind of give a different flavor to me anyway, and so I kind of like to do both. And I'm going to add some garlic because garlic is good for you, and I think garlic makes everything taste better. Okay. the next thing that I'm going to add, okay, the next thing I'm going to add is poultry seasoning. Now I am going to can this, and some people, they don't like to can. You're not, let me put it this way. Sage is something that normally does not can well. But I have found, and I never can just anything with just straight sage, but I have found that when I use poultry seasoning in my broth and then I can it, I have no problems. It always tastes really good afterwards. Okay? Now, the next thing I'm going to add is just some minced garlic. I'm going to add about 3 heaping tablespoons to that. I'm going to rinse this off. And another thing that you can do, I'm going to wait on this because I want to see exactly how rich my broth is. But if you are finding that your broth is not quite as flavorful as you want, and you don't really want to add any other spices to it, you can just kind of kick it up a little bit with the Better Than bouillon, or if you don't have that, but let's see, let me find it. But you have like maybe some of this chicken seasoning, the chicken bouillon, you can add some of that to it. It's just up to you. Now, another thing that I always add, let me see, I need to dry this off. Another thing that I like to add to a lot of my cooking, including this, and I'm getting down to the bottom again, is my dehydrated pepper powder. And I'll add about, I think that was about a tablespoon and a half maybe. Let's see. And then I'm going to fill up my, I'm going to have to fill up my Himalayan salt. But you add some salt. I like the pink Himalayan, but you could use whatever kind you want, whatever you have. And then of course, add some pepper. Now what I'm going to do is I'll let this cook all day, and then tonight at some point I'll probably come in and just kind of give it a little taste to see, you know, what I like, if I want to add some more of the bouillon. I mean, if I want to add some of the bouillon, or if I'm liking the flavor that I've got, or if it might just need like maybe a little bit more poultry seasoning, or, you know, you just kind of have to go with the flavor profile that you've already chosen, and just add to it. Now I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to let it run all day at about let's see, at about 275. I'm going to put it over here out of the way and just let it do its thing while we go on about our day doing other things. And after I get through with this, after I feel like it's at the place I want it to be, after about 24 hours, and you can run it even longer than that, you can some people go up to 48 hours. But, let's see if I can put me in here. Can you see me? But I have no makeup on, so don't judge me. But you can, I hope you can see me, but you can also, oops, sorry. You can also let it cook for, 48 hours if you need to. Just remember at night when you're going to bed to either have it down low on a very, very low setting, or if you decide to turn it off, once again, you just want to make sure that you don't open that lid so that none of the heat escapes. Anyway, once I get done with this, I plan on canning it. So that'll be another video. So if you would, if you want to know how I can my chicken broth, got beef on the mind because I need to do that too, my chicken broth, then just look for that video. Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a like, share, subscribe it, click the notification bell that's down below and all that, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless. So it's the next morning and I've added water to it. The water level was down a little bit, but I've added the water back up to get the liquid level up. Looking good. It's been about maybe 20 hours since I started with this, and through the night I just had it on the warm setting and it did fine, and it was still warm because I didn't take the top off. It smells like Thanksgiving in the house. It really does.